Okay, so here's a walkthrough of anybody who wanted to see the results of the stereo upgrade and everything else upgrade for Gail's car, aka Cat's Meow. So let's see, we'll start off here in the back. There's the backup camera, color, 170-degree field of view, backup camera. Ran the wiring along the side through the body panels, through the cable tray, into the front. On the front side, there's the wire set up for the Valentine 1 radar detector and the front-facing camera, another color camera, 90-degree field of view, front-facing. And then behind that is the new mirror upgrade. In the engine compartment, there's a new circuit coming out of the circuit fuse box in there, plus the 6-gauge feed for the power subwoofer and the under the seat amp. There's the subwoofer behind the back seat. We may do something different in terms of mounting, but for now that's where it is. It's kind of velcroed in place. It's not going anywhere. Under the driver's side, passenger side seat, excuse me, is where the amplifier is. There's the picks for those. I'm not going to bother showing you that. Go ahead and get in. Here in the console is the where a lot of the circuits ended up. Here's the iPod interface going to the head unit for either your iPhone or a regular iPod. There's also a breakout USB cable if you want to plug in just a USB thumb drive that has a bunch of MP3 files on it. You can plug that in and play that instead of your iPod or iPhone. Also ran a separate charging port, USB charging port, 1 amp and a 2 amp charging port for anything that needs a USB charger. Here's the digital video recorder, which records either the front camera or rear camera, depending on what you have selected. Uses SD storage cards. There's some 2 gig ones there. Rod, those should look familiar. There's also an aux in port that I added in. So if you have just a hardwire MP3 cable, audio out, you can plug that in there and then play that through the head unit by selecting the aux video in. So that's what got added to the center console. All of this is powered by that extra circuit that I added in underneath the center console. Okay, let's go ahead and turn this on. I'm going to pull up a little bit and get out of the sunlight here. Alright, so what else we got? There's the unit starting up. That's the boot screen. You can add in a custom screen. Haven't done that yet. It's automatically connected to the iPod, which is actually another iPhone that's in the console there. And actually it went to something else. That's interesting. It had 2 choices when it connected to the iPhone, and it decided to pick the other media choice. So I went back, forced it to go back to the iPod. We'll go back to the menu. I'll come back to this in a second. Let me show you the rest of the cockpit. So there's the new mirror we added in to replace the OEM mirror. This one has a compass and a external temp sensor. Treating 102 because I was just letting it sit there with the engine idling for a while. If you were moving, it'd be giving you a much more accurate reading. There's the Valentine 1 detector in silent mode, which is actually feeding to the heads-up display right here on the console, and then also here is the hands-free microphone for the head unit when it's paired with your phone. And actually, let me go ahead and pick up there. Here's the telephone interface. So if I want to go here, if I receive a call, it'll automatically interrupt whatever's playing and put the sound and use the microphone to play on that. Hands-free stuff. Like you can look at outgoing calls. Gives you a list of what this is actually paired to right now is the phone I'm recording with, my iPhone, and it's showing all of the phone calls that have been made. So that's the hands-free stuff. Pretty straightforward. Let me see, what else do I want to show you? So that's the hands-free function. Actually, let me show you one other thing there real quick. This is going to be kind of random as I jump around, so Apologies for that. Also, when you're on the hands-free mode, it's showing you the signal strength that your phone's getting and how much battery you have left in it. So that's information coming from your phone being displayed on the head unit. So let me go back to the menu now, and I'll just kind of walk through a bunch of the different functions. So here's the nav unit. If I click that, get the obligatory don't crash while driving, do view map. It has a Garmin GPS system, works really well. All sorts of bells and whistles on it. Won't really go through a demonstration of that. So we'll go back to menu. So that was telephone. Let me just show the iPod interface real quick. So that is an iPhone that was in the console. It's bringing up the iPod interface for that kind of stuff. So like if I want to like scroll through the artist list, for example, pick the category list. Do I want to search by artist? If I had videos on there, I could pick that and show that as well. In this case, I'll pick artists. I can jump ahead to a certain category. And then scroll down or scroll up through the list and pick something. So pretty straightforward to use. There's a lot of different options on that in terms of how you interface with the iPod, but that's a quick overview of that. Let's see what else we got here. I'm going to go back to the menu. So show the telephone, show the iPod, show the nav. This is the USB, so if I plug something into that USB cable, this is how I would access those MP3 files on that thumb drive. This thing has a TV. We did not add in the TV tuner, which there's a plug port for it, which is pretty cool. Here's the aux port that will show me what, that's going to cut off the music because I picked a different function. So the aux port is the auxiliary video in and aux vid in, and what I have it set up for is to show you what the video camera is recording. Now, since I have two cameras, we set up a switch to be able to control, what you want the DVR to record. And right now, this is the switch. Notice it's pointed backwards. If I flip the switch forwards, it's now recording the front camera. So, switch forward, DVR is recording the front camera, and it's showing you on the head unit. Switch backwards, recording the rear camera. That's what the DVR is recording. And if you put it into play mode, then it's going to play whatever it recorded, and you'll see it showing up here, because that's where this video signal is coming from the unit. You can see right now I'm recording at 704 by 480 pixel resolution on the DVR recorder. So that's what that's all about. I'll leave it at front recording, and we'll go back to the menu by pressing that. So that was AUX. That's standby mode. Here's related to the iPod, the phone that's plugged into the console right now is an internet phone. It's an iPhone 4, and it has, that's actually my daughter's phone. It has a Pandora account on it, as does mine. So if I pick the Pandora function, what this is doing is it's actually using the iPhone to play Pandora, to hit the internet, to play your Pandora channel, and that's what's showing up. So like any Pandora set of functions, I could give this a thumbs up if I like that. If I wanted to go to the next track in the Pandora playlist, you do next track, and it does next track only from the head unit. So everything's integrated into the head unit in terms of your Pandora behavior. I could do thumbs down, whatever, if I wanted to. So that's the Pandora function. Go back to the menu. Let's see what else we got. So that was Pandora. Audio setup. Let me just show you a couple things there real quick. Basically, this is your positional adjustment for your balance controls. Somehow I managed to hit the nav. Road. That is not what I wanted. This is a DNX7180, by the way. Gonna go to the audio controls. So basically positional controls, you know, if I want it sound to be in the front center, rear center, right center, you get the idea. I can also control the subwoofer level, you know, boosting the subwoofer level. It's got a 5-band equalizer. So you can see I'm boosting the low end and the high end. It's also got controls for the crossovers for the head unit. So, for example, just to give you a quick view of that, these are the front speakers, 6.5 inch with a split speaker arrangement. So if I go to the crossover, I can basically set the frequency cutoff at which I stop sending the bass signal to those speakers. Similarly for the rear and similarly for the subwoofer, I have separate crossover cutoff frequencies that you can set individually. Right now those are actually set to through. So a lot of control there in terms of what you're doing for the speakers. Couple other bells and whistles. It has dual zone. We don't have that set up, so you could be watching something different in the back or listening to something different. We're not using that. Let's see what else we got here. Sirius satellite radio. So if I pick that, you know, it's satellite radio. Life's good. You know, pick a different channel. You get the picture. We'll go back to the, hey, Dean Martin, nice. We'll go back to iPod. And we'll go back to menu. Another nice thing we did too, before I finish the functions there, let me just show you that. We integrated the steering wheel controls using the SWIPAC interface to the head unit. So, you know, if I want to mute, I can mute. If I want to skip to next track, volume up, volume down. So all that works good. FM AM actually selects different source, goes to the next source in there. So all that worked out pretty nice. Let's see, what else do we got? Tuner. Okay, this was kind of an interesting one. Turn the volume down. Most of you probably know that, you know, the aftermarket stereos, that when you pick the tuner, right, it's supposed to raise the antenna. Well, the head unit, for whatever reason, anytime it powered on, it was raising the antenna, as opposed to only raising the antenna when it was in tuner mode. One really cool thing about the head unit, though, is that it gives you the ability to control 2 external relays. So with the external switch control here, we actually set up a manual control for the antenna, so I can control when I want it to go up. This is not a built-in antenna up-down function. The 7180 comes with 2 external relay on-offs. You can either pulse it for continuous on or pulse it to go on-off, and you can name the labels. So in this case, I set switch 2 to be the label to be antenna, and it's a goes on and stays on. So when I press it, let's see if I can get this. I'm going to press it, and there goes the antenna. And if I turn the relay off, the antenna goes down. So kind of took advantage of that and avoided the problem of the antenna always being up when the unit was on. So that was kind of nice. Cat's meow was happy about that. Disc, so yeah, it's a full DVD player. I don't have a disc to show you, sorry, but that's what that's all about. and we're kind of back to the beginning. So there you go. There's your 20-cent tour of Cat Meow's new system.